Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tiger Den. I apologize for that slight delay. Again, starting a little longer than normal. Because I'm working on the anniversary piece, Sheriff wanted to make sure he had the stream up, but I had to make sure he wasn't watching the stream, so he couldn't see what we're working on with the piece. We are almost done. I think I'm going to fix up my signature there, and then I got some silver acrylic paint for these mirrors, and I'm hoping that will it's not going to be very chromy and mirror-like, but this should get it pretty close to feeling like a mirror. After that, I need to spray paint the crap out of this, get 3 layers, and then I have some flowers from my actual wedding, the flower petals. And I completely forgot I was going to do this, but I'm going to put the flower petals all over the bottom. And then I also need to do the faux frame, although I think I'm just going to frame it. Because I want this to be a piece that's in our living room and, it looks good and happy and yada, yada, yada. So as you guys can see, we're doing pretty good. It did transfer. Why is my stream broken? Hello? Twitch, did you break? I think I broke Twitch. Don't mind me. I'm trying to fix it. I can't see the chat right now. Anyway, hello, Matt. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Sheriff. Thank you for the hydrate. I shall hydrate with water. I got my old water bottle fixed up, hopefully. At least I'm hoping it's not going to start growing mold again. We can hope and pray. It's been absolutely soaked in white vinegar for days. It seemed like every time I was getting water, it was turning to mold, and it was gross, and I got scared, and I'm still scared of using it, but we'll see. It should be fine now. Anyway, good afternoon. For those of you that saw my post in Discord, Baby Tiger is doing good. We just went to the park yesterday, and he kind of stumbled in a ditch because they're working on the park, and all around the concrete, there's like little ditches on the side. They haven't evened it out yet. And he went running for the second playground set, which is on the other side of some concrete that had some ditches, when I wasn't paying attention. And he tripped, and his foot is starting to look a little purple, a little bruised. So I took him to the urgent care today. They think he's fine. Might just be a little sprain, might just be some bruising. Either way, I want to make sure he was okay, because he couldn't stand on his foot this morning, and he was struggling to walk, and he's really babying the foot that got hurt. He doesn't look like a sprain. They weren't concerned about doing an x-ray for broken bones, because he's not screaming or crying or having problems like it's a broken bone. Achilles tendon was fine. I think it just might be a slight pull, a slight sprain, something small like that. They said watch him for the next 4 days, and then follow up with the pediatrician if he doesn't get better. So because I got my acrylic paints out, and the next painting I'm going to do is also acrylic paint. So I basically set up for just acrylic painting today, because this is acrylic paint. The rat pig piece is going to be fully acrylic paint because I want that vibrant color in it. So yeah. Glad to hear he's doing okay. The bruise sucks, but I'm sure he'll bounce. Yeah, he's already starting to bounce back. The doctor was sweet and gave him this little wooden toy car, and he was all over the room playing with it. It's just when he's home that he's not recognizing. He's a little more conscious of the foot at home than he is anywhere else, so he is bouncing back just in a weird way. I can't get this open. My scissors are... I don't know where. Where did my scissors go? I need those. Question. No answer. I guess I have new scissors, because I don't know where my old ones went. Okay, whatever. So for my cloth rags, these little paper towels that I use for paint, these ones are just cloth rags, bought in like $300 bulk.
Heal, and resilience prevails.
Yep.
Let Frosty Fox May's magic bring strength and recovery to your friend.
I have done all I can to get May to do shorter responses. These are the shortest responses I can do. Literally, I have it on do the shortest response. I don't want to picture what long responses are. Anyway, these rags come in like a kit of like $10 for 300 of them, and they soak more than a normal paper towel. So I've been using those, but they sometimes don't get the perforations all the way through. So I use scissors to cut them. The scissors I had for those have disappeared. Oh, this is covered in silver. Oh, that is not good. Let's get some of that paint back off of it. Nope, there's still a little bit more. There we go. So I'm just trying to open up the silver. I'm probably going to dip directly out of the jar because it is pretty big. And then I don't have to worry about putting paint back into it. But this wrapping on top has a lot of the silver paint on it. So look at that. I got it all over my fingers just trying to open the jar. I did just get this paint yesterday. I've not played with it at all yet, so I'm hoping it'll do what I'd like. We can all hope. Okay, I think I'm going to set the jar there so I don't spill all over my painting. And for this, I think I'm going to use my small flat brush that I got out. This is going to be a detail brush for the rat pig one, but I feel like this will be a good size for getting this all over, and then I can use the big one to kind of spread it out so it's not as streaky if it comes out streaky. So let's see how we do here. Well, it's showing the blue through, so I may need a couple layers of this silver, but it's not coming out too streaky at least. That may be because I'm also putting it on kind of thinly. Because that blue, there was blue in the mirrors. Most mirrors do have like a hint of color, and in this case there was blue. So I might leave it with this kind of silver overtone and leave it kind of transparent through here. We'll see. We'll see how many layers I can build up. It's not as chrome or as mirrory as I would like. To get that, I would have to pay, I think it was like $60 for a mirroriest mirror, which I still think would be a good idea, and I think it's worth it, but I want to wait until my business has the funds to pay for it instead of trying to put it on a credit card or something. Before I play with that, in worst case scenario, I can always, even if I seal this painting, which I'm going to be sealing it today, even if I seal it, I can always go back in, rough up the sealant, and then paint over it with the chromiest chrome to give it more of a mirror feel. Well, mirroriest mirror. I don't know why I keep calling it chromiest chrome. Stuart has a very interesting way of naming paint. But the mirroriest mirror I will go over later once I get it. But I'm not going to worry about it right this second, because it's expensive. We're just kind of layering this on a little bit, kind of putting it on thickly. You can still see the blue, but it's not as blue as it was. I think I may have done oil paint on this, because this is feeling kind of oil painty, painting over it, which may be part of my problem. Okay, that silver is looking good. I'm going to go on the other side and also do some silver. Kind of taking it up the edges. I gotta be very careful not to get it in that gold. Otherwise, I have to get my gold back out, and I don't want to because it was also fairly expensive. $20 for that little bottle that you saw. Which I get. It's not super hard, but it is a more expensive paint, so I want to save it for specific pieces. I may get out the Goldliest Gold for the rat pig piece. I haven't decided, as well as the silver for the lamp that I drew in it. I feel like that would be a nice, pretty, the silver with the gold lamp colors. Maybe do a black underneath the silver just to kind of really pronounce that silver a little better. But this with the blue is definitely creating a very interesting effect. I gotta be careful because some of these little extra stand-up bits are not getting the color completely around them. They're like little bumps that you have to go around.
Invest in quality for a crystal clear reflection. Let Frosty Fox Maze Magic add a touch of elegance to your space. So
I have seen some examples of it on videos, and it looks very reflective. For $60, it does look pretty much like a mirror. They also have like a black gold mirror one that also looks very reflective. I just don't know how reflective it is. Stuart Semple is the Culture Hustle owner and is the one that made the Pinkest Pink to go against Anish Kapoor, which I have next to me. I just don't have the mediums to mix yet. Those are coming in Wednesday is the estimate. So ideally I will be able to get those in, and then I can play with the Pinkest Pink and see what I think of it. I think I'm going to put some of the Pinkest Pink on the rat pig piece where the rat pigs have their spots, because it does have a bit of a pink look there. And then I'll do like a pastel pink for the main pig portion. I think it'll look really cool when it's all done. Okay, I think that side is good. I'm going to do 2 layers on each side, and then I'm going to start sealing it. So you will hear some spray can, and I will be away from the camera for a little bit. That's okay. I have a window open already. Don't worry. I'm already airing out the space. That way, I don't get the toxic fumes. I would take it outside, but then I have to go all the way down the stairs, go outside, spray it, and then do that again like every hour on the hour. And as long as baby tiger isn't napping, I'm not worried about the smell in my studio. I know that's bad for your lungs, but I have the window open, so most of it should go out the window, and it should be fine. I've got pretty decent ventilation set up. Yeah, I think 2 layers is perfect for this. The other reason it's $60 is there's supposedly a lot of it in the jar. So it's supposed to be able to cover 8 feet of 8 feet on a painting. So most of my paintings are less than 2 feet on either way. So I should be able to get enough that's like 4 or 5 uses out of it if I painted the entire painting. No, it'd probably be like 8 to 10 uses out of it. If I painted, no, it would be 4 to 5. Because it's about 2 feet and that's 8 foot. So yeah, 4 to 5 pieces, and that's if I painted the entire painting. And of course, layering also takes up from it, so, But the nice thing about culture hustle paints is you're not supposed to need to layer it. Like this gold went on just like this, just this thick, and I didn't have to put a second one on it. Or if you notice the silver, I am having to put more on it. It's getting kind of dry, so it's getting hard to push this paint around. And it's showing some of that blue underneath. Just trying to get this as mirror-y feeling as possible. And I think that looks good on that side. So now one more layer on this side. And I should be good to go. Just let it spray, sit, and then eventually add some of the rose petals from our actual wedding that were at our feet in this painting. I should be able to add them to the painting on the floor. I forgot that I was going to do that. That was one of the big reasons that I had the thought of doing this painting, was because I was finding all our flower petals from a box that was our wedding box that ripped open, and it just scattered the petals throughout the entire second floor. And I was like, you know what? What can I do with these? And I was like, oh, I can make a wedding picture, and then I can just like put them on as 3D objects. So I now have a bunch of petals that I just picked up, and I threw away the rest because there was so many. I'm gonna have a ton of orange by the time I'm done with this. Because I have a whole entire package wrap of it, which is like 200 of them. But I figured it'd be nice to kind of have them on the painting as is, so that we had the actual stuff from our wedding. Okay, I think that is good. It's looking good to me. I'm going to flip it over so I can take a look. Brush strokes, depending. But I want a better look at it from the correct angle. And I'm going to leave that there in case I do need to do another layer. Could maybe try steeping some of the petals and make it watercolor. I could, but the petals I just kind of want to have like on the floor. They're a bit bigger than what you'd expect from this painting. The mirrors are looking good, so I'm going to stick with that, and then I'm going to clean up this.
Steeping petals for watercolor sounds like a creative experiment.
I'm going to do it in Sharpie. I'm going to fix this. I did not like the
enhance your creations.
I'm trying to talk. I did not like the iridescence that I put on this signature, so I'm just going to Sharpie over it. But I think I'm liking the mirrors a little bit more. They're not perfect by any means, but they're getting there. I think the only thing that would make them better is buying that $60 bottle of the mirroriest mirror. But I don't want to do that right now, and nor am I going to pay for that right now. So in the future, I will come back to this piece with the mirroriest mirror. I don't know how far in the future, but sometime in the future. And then I will hopefully like the mirrors better. And this has got like a little gunk spot right here. And yes, I'm trying to fill the entire iridescent because it just looks wonky with iridescent on it. I am filling it with the original paintbrush design that I did. I know Sharpie's probably not the best way to do this, but whatever, who cares? I've seen people use weirder for their signatures. Okay, that's looking better. And then once this is all done with the petals and everything, I need to wrap it. Well, I'm going to have to seal it. I'm going to leave it to dry for months. And then just before the anniversary, I need to wrap it in paper. That way my husband can't see it on the way to the anniversary dinner.
Exploring different techniques can lead to unique artwork.
Yes, it can.
Save the extra petals for future experiments.
True,
Let
true.
Frosty Fox Maze magic inspire your creativity.
This piece during the 3D Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. I see what you mean. Making watercolor out of the future petals. They're fabric, so I don't know how much color I'd pull from them. I can try, but yeah, that'd be very experimental. Either way, I gotta wrap this piece, as I was saying, before our anniversary, and then give it to my husband during the anniversary dinner. We're actually going back to the place that we had our wedding for the first time in like 5 years. And we're just gonna hang out and have dinner, and then I'm gonna give him his present. And that will be that. Okay, that is now Sharpied in. Now, this is the part where you guys are going to hear some spray paint. I'm good with the silver. I don't need any more silver right now. So I can clean my brush. And I didn't need to get the big brush out to clean up the lines, which is kind of nice. I was worried that I'd have to clean up those lines a lot. So with the wrapping piece that we're about to do, I do have like a general coloration sketch for the mountains and the pigs and all that. I decided to not use the reference photo completely because I do want it to have its own feel and experimentation and stuff that will give it a little bit more than just what we're doing. So I'm going to start with the mountains today. I'm going to do the path today. And I don't know if we're going to make it to the greenery. We'll see. I think I might need to do that lighter or darker. That's lighter. So we'll use that one for the path. That'll be the mountains. I'll add a little bit of brown to each of the mountain colors just to make them a little bit darker. But I think that's good for now. Let me go ahead and grab this piece and then go spray it. I do need some cardboard eventually up here that's fairly sizable size, so that way I don't get I need to sweep that area first. Holy cow, there is cat litter everywhere. I love my cats, but they drag litter throughout the entire house. I don't want the cat litter to stick to the piece. Anyway, I do need to get a cardboard box, so I'm not doing this directly on my floor. I have plenty of cardboard boxes. I just never think to bring one up with me. Go over there. Need to sweep all this up. It's getting everywhere. There isn't even a litter box in my office anymore, so it's even more irritating because I know the cats are tracking it throughout the house. We put one in the bathroom right next to my studio, and I think that's why I'm starting to get cat litter in here again. When we moved them out to the hallway, I didn't get any cat litter in here. But we have to lock up... Ow! We have to lock up one of the cats. Just to make sure they don't steal their siblings' food. So we had to give him a litter box while he's locked up. And we lock him up in the bathroom. Plenty of space without stealing his siblings' food. And then we just release him once his siblings are done with the food.
Taping it to the ceiling can prevent floor damage. Consider different angles for your setup to avoid any mishaps. Let Frosty Fox Maze magic keep things in place.
May is talking very interestingly. Anyway, let me see what all that was. I can't know this. Okay. Oh, that was cute. If you tape it to the ceiling, you won't do it directly on your floor either. Anyway, Twisted, thank you so much for the hydrate. I shall hydrate with water. And Epon, welcome back to the Tiger Den. It's been a while. How you been? As for taping it to the ceiling, my ceiling's kind of high and made of wood, and I don't want to damage the wood. So, floor it is. With eventually some cardboard. I'm probably going to seal it 4 or 5 times, so you're going to hear it spray a lot just because I want to make sure it's oil. I don't want that to have problems later. Oh, come on, lid. Come on, lid. Off. There we go. It wanted to be a pain. Now don't forget, I do have good ventilation in my studio. I have the window open, and I don't have Baby Tiger up here, so I am not worried about my ventilation right now. I'm also not spraying so much that it would cause ventilation issues. Alright, so we're going to give that about 45 minutes. So at 1 hour, 15 minutes, I will do the next coat. And while we're doing that, oh, here's one of the flower petals I was telling you guys about. Yeah. Should put that with the other ones. I will work on that probably on Friday with the flower petals, just to give that
Glad to
sealant.
hear you're doing well.
Sealant
Embrace
a nice
the positive vibes and enjoy the stream with Frosty Fox May's magical presence.
I am going to seal it or do the flower petals on Friday, so that way I can make sure its sealant is nice and dry. As for that, I'm glad you're doing good, Epon. I am so glad. Just a heads up, I am streaming here and on YouTube. I started a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is mainly for the art versus the gaming. I've been trying to get into gaming, but it's been a challenge. There's a little horizon line inside of my pole, which isn't that big a deal, but I don't like the horizon line. The horizon line is not erasing. I guess it's just going to be in my pole. So there's a lot of differences in the wood on this piece. This is wood, that's all wood. This is like dark rocks that are brown. That's brown. Like, there's a lot of brown in this. And then this is a hay bale, so it's kind of like a yellowy brown. So I should probably get the yellow out. I'm going to do all the brown pieces right now. Then I'll probably do the greenery. And then after that, I will do the pinks. And then there's white flowers down here, so I'll do some white flowers down there. What do I want to start with? Probably the path. I'm going to start with the... No, I should probably start up high. No, I can flip it over. So I'm going to start with the hay bale and the path. I'm going to make 2 different colors. This one, I'm going to do twice. Maybe. If I can get any out. Uh-oh. This paint may be dead. I hear Raid Shadow Legends was all the rage a few months ago, and they're ads. Oh my goodness.
Years of dedication and creativity can lead to remarkable growth.
I don't know anything about Raid Shadow Legends.
Maze magic inspire your
I have never
endeavors.
played it. I don't know if I will ever play it. But yeah, I know it was a big fad for a while there. We used to joke with Raid Killer that his name was actually Raid Shadow Legends. He just didn't want to admit it. Touch of yellow. Might need a little bit more of the skin color. Little Foxy doesn't pick up on sarcasm very well. No, she doesn't. She used to be very sassy and sarcastic herself, but come on. Come out of this. I think it's dead. It may be dead. I'm getting little bits of paint here and there, but not enough. Okay, that should be good to get that mixture that I want. And then I'm also going to do this one. This is going to be the highlight for the rocks, so I'm going to do this last on the rocks. But it is going to be on the hay bale with a little bit of yellow. So we're going to get a little bit of that mixed in with the hay bale yellow. Hopefully, you know what? I can actually do this, because I think that was too much yellow in the lighter color. So I'm just going to take that over there. Just scoop some of this yellow that I already had. So that way it's a touch of yellow instead of super yellow. Then we're going to mix this and that. That is a good yellow mixture. I think I might add a little bit more. Yeah, it's a good kind of yellowish mixture for this. And then this one's a little lighter, so I'm going to actually use this one for the front part of the hay bale and that one for the shadow. Which
Clearing
I might...
a clogged paint nozzle with a paper clip can help maintain your tools. Ensure smooth paint flow for your creative projects.
Do I want to use that one or do I want to use this one
Let
for the
Frosty Fox
sand?
Maze Magic keep your supplies in top
I want to
condition.
take a paper clip to make sure the nozzle isn't clogged or dry. Yeah, I just checked to see if the nozzle was had any issues, and it didn't look like it did. It's just the paint is so old. It's older than me. It was probably bought in like the 70s or like 60s, 80s, somewhere in there, as you can see from the design of it and the cracking on the thing. I haven't bought new paint in a long time because I still have paint from that container. It may finally be dying, and what's left in there may be dried out instead of usable. And that just means I have to get a new color for it. But yes, I've done the nozzle thing a couple times on a few of them, and it's just a matter of it being old paint. Come on, give me that. I know you want to. Just want a nice clean line on the edge of this. There we go. Nice clean line on the edge of the hay bale. Then we're going to go with the shadow, and then I will do the walk, the sidewalk, this little, well, dirt path, I guess is what it would be called. Fill that brush up. Go straight across. A little bit around the circle. And pull it down. Just kind of get some of this nice and even here. Now there are waterfalls in the scene, so there will be some blue, there's some pink,
Glad
a
you
lot
found
of brown.
The tip helpful. Frosty Fox May is always here to assist with creative solutions.
Oh, May,
Embrace the
you have no idea what you're talking
journey with
about.
a touch of magic.
Oh, May, I love you, but you're stupid. Okay, that looks a little bit more like a hay bale. Now, I could add like some white lines to it. I don't know. I may still for like the strings tying it together, but most hay bales I see are basically just that with a little bit sticking out. And right now I'm just trying to get the base shape. So I may go in a little later with some detail. I may go in like on this side with some detail, but like the brown up here, I want to make sure it's good. But this was also out of a video game where they don't add a lot of detail like that. So, you know, we got what we got. I'm swapping to a slightly bigger brush. It's a Filbert size 10, apparently. And I'm going to paint in this pathway. I also got like a million notifications here because, you know, my phone's got to blow up when my phone's got to blow up. Okay, nothing was important, so I'm going to turn it on Do Not Disturb so it does not keep blowing up. Ah, coffee, coffee, coffee. Ah, coffee is so good. Nope, this brush is a bit stiff. Let's break up that stiffness so we can have a nice smooth brush. But yes, on these little spots on the pig, I'm going to try using the pinkest pink just to give it a little bit more vibrancy and difference in the change. I think that'll look really, really good. But that subtle difference between the yellow and the non-yellow, there is a very subtle difference, which is okay. I wish there was a little bit more of a difference, but I mean, it's just a sandy path, really. Worn down so much from people walking it. What a lot of animes use is a light path going through. However, this acrylic does not want to, I don't know if it's the brush or the acrylic itself, which I'm guessing the acrylic itself does not want to create a nice straight line. If I add some water to it, maybe that'll help it smooth a little bit more. Like I said, this is some really old paint that I've been trying to use for a long time. Oh yeah, that helped it a lot. I've been trying to use for a long time, and I just can't justify buying new paint when I have this paint. It's because it's like $2 a bottle now, and this was gotten for like 50 cents, if that. So I'm like, I can't justify it yet. I'm trying. Now, the sandy pathway does have some grass on it as well, so I'll probably be adding a little bit of grass here and there later. But for now, I just want to get that, like I said, that base shape and the base design on it. Add some more water here. Just to get that nice line here, a nice flow of the paint. And then this grass piece will be redone, or this piece by the sand that was supposed to be pointy will be redone and layered over with the green of the grass to kind of help make it pointy. So don't worry about that being a bit bigger than what my sketch was. Need some more water to keep this fluid and flowing. I may just have to add some water in the jars here to help the paint flow a little better. I could always use like a acrylic medium or like a, what are they called? Like a paint thinner on the paint, which could help get that thick paint in there that's mostly dried up usable again. But again, they're so old, I don't know if it's worth the fight. I didn't pay anything for this paint. It was given to me by my mom, because she wasn't using it. So, and I think this is also a ceramic paint, so if I heat it up in like a fire, it'll change color. All this painted. There, as you can see, there is a slight difference between the yellow and the ground. And I'm probably going to take some of the lighter yellow on that sand path and kind of splatter it onto this real quick to give it kind of like a more sandy, like different color theme going on. Because it is supposed to be nice and bright. But I did get to use up most of that color for this, so I don't have to put any of the color away, which is nice. I hate wasting paint, no matter how old it is. There we go. Get up some of these holes here. Okay, and then again, I'm going to go in with that lighter yellow. I'm going to just kind of splatter it everywhere. I am also going to fix that circle line here. I think it's a little bit more dry now, so I can go for that. I don't know if I hear baby tiger or if I hear a cat. Won't be surprised if it's my ninja child. Nope, that's a cat vomiting. Okay, that's wonderful. I love when cats vomit. So great. Okay. There we go. That's a little better. And then to do the speckles, I'm actually not going to use a brush. I found a much better technique for doing that, which, as weird as this sounds, is a toothbrush. It gets all over your finger. Like, don't get me wrong, it gets all over your finger when you use a toothbrush, but it has more of a splatter effect. Oh, you know, okay. It's too dry. It only painted my thumb. I'm gonna put my thumb in that water and okay, so I gotta dip and then wet it. We're gonna try that again. It works well with watercolor, but there we go. And part of why I'm doing it this way with the speckles is because then I can have a more natural feeling sand. And I'm doing it before the grass so I can cover up any specks that are outside of the dirt. There we go. Okay. Now, once that dries, it's going to look really, really cool. It's a technique. If that's a technique you plan to use, I recommend a box plate. I mean, I could, but what's an artist if you don't get paint all over yourself? Come on. And I don't use this technique a whole lot. I do use it often enough. I should probably get some latex gloves, but with a little paint. It's not like it's toxic or anything. And I'm just going to kind of clean up a little bit and like reduce the effect that these splatters have where the grass goes. I know it's acrylic, so it should be thick enough to completely cover it. But I want to make sure that it's covered. Okay. Now the wood, I think I'm going to do the wood last because I got to do a lot of color mixing with that. And I think I have some other colors. So I'm just doing all the browns today. I have some other colors that I might be able to get to work with it. I'm just getting out all my browns so I can see.
Using cutting mats for priming and sealing pieces is practical for mobility.
It's a yellowy brown, that's fine.
And let Frosty Fox Maze Magic enhance your crafting experience.
So, like when I'm priming, sealing stuff, and I need to move it. That's fair. I don't mind getting paint all over me. And this is unbleached titanium, so that is a type of brown. I don't think I'm going to be using that brown. But, so this is all the browns, which are mostly skin tones I have. So I'm going to have very skin tone rocks. Let me get out the piece that I'm using as the placeholder. Come on. So this is, if you notice, I only have like 4 colors or 3 colors with my brown. So a lot of the browns are the same, but it's got some grass growing up on the mountains. It's got the mountains going pretty high, a very dark brown back there, a little bit of browns everywhere else, and then the browns on the fences and things like that. Now, because it is start at 1 p.m., I am going to be a little bit short on the stream because I do need to be done by 3:30. Because that's about when my kids start getting home and I need to be ready for them and, you know, plan dinner and yada, yada, yada. I think I have dinner planned because I think I made enough yesterday to where we have extra and I can just do leftovers. But we're gonna play it safe and careful. Yeah. Grass is there. Oh, and I also have the blues and stuff I gotta do. So next up, flipping it over so we can access the mountains nicely. These are gonna be a slightly darker brown if I can help it. So I'm going to do, I think I'm going to get rid of all the light ones. Because while there is highlights, I think I'll leave one out for a highlight. I think I'll leave Dresden out for a highlight. Let's get rid of a lot of these lighter ones. Yellow can be put away. That's a beige? I don't know what color. Oh, flesh. And I can always brown them up a little bit more with the brown. That's a little too light. Yeah, I can brown these up a little bit more with the other browns, but I don't want to have too much skin colored because there's no skin. All right, we're going to start with this one. And I want to see kind of how it looks color-wise. Oops. Suppose it'd help if I mixed it. I have a kitty on the floor next to me. Hi, little Miss Oreo. Okay, that is a little bit lighter than I would like for the browns going on. So I'm going to add a small smidgen. I'm going to pour the brown on its own. Nice, decent chunk, because I think I'm going to have to mix a lot of browns here. I'm going to take a nice, healthy scoop. Put that on the side there. Take another healthy scoop. We're just going to kind of make this a little bit more brown, which I did not get enough of. So take another healthy scoop. Which is still not, the brown isn't doing anything to this. There we go. Now we're starting to get, okay, now we're starting to get some brown showing. I might need more brown than I thought. Okay, that's barely anything. Whew, okay. I got this. I totally got this. Making brown colors, it's fine. I think I should have just squirted directly into the pod here. Okay, that looks a little bit more brown than it was. Okay, so we got the light brown, we got the dark brown. I need the medium brown, which I think is going to be this sucker right here. And then I'm going to use these ones more for the fence, just so it's a slightly different brown. I'll still be adding brown to them, but I think the fencing is going to be nicer with a lighter brown. Yeah, it's a good medium right there. Okay. So I'm going to do a lot of medium because there's a lot of mountain to cover. So I'm going to do the medium just to make sure it's nice and covered. This one, let's do the smaller areas first. So I'm going to go in with that size 10 filbert again. And then once we get to the big areas, I'll do the size 13. So we're going to make sure my brush is nice and loose. We're going to start with that medium. And we're just going to splatter it everywhere. I may need to add some black to the dark brown to get this nice shadowy area. Because I want this dark brown to be a shadow, not necessarily the darkest place on this canvas. Now this piece, if you guys are liking it, is going to be up at the Rat Pig silent auction. If you guys want to own it, you will have to go to Rat Pig. Booking and tickets are on sale now. You can go there, you can bid on it in the silent auction. This will not, this might have a picture of it, but it will be only for the Rat Pig that you see it, because that is the only place it is getting sold. Unless it doesn't sell. If it doesn't sell or get bid on, then I'll take it home and sell it somewhere else. But I have a feeling with the amount of crazy fans that go to Rat Pig, adding some water to this, but because of the people I know with the crazy fans there, it might very well sell pretty quick. Or at least one is gonna bet on it. What do you guys think? Should I start the betting at 50, which is where I'm leaning toward, because I won't have a frame? Or should I start the bidding at like 80? My goal is to hopefully see 150 to 200, but I mean, I don't want it to be impossible to reach that, but I don't want someone to be like, I can't start the bidding. So the more bidding there is, the more likely it is to go up, because it shows a lot of interest in it. But at the same time, I don't want everyone to be like, I don't want to bid on. I want to bid on it, but I don't want to pay 150 for it type scenario. Because I've been having a lot of issues with getting my paintings looked at and sold for. I even tried to offer someone at my first craft show an $80, like $80 instead of the $150 that was on the pricing kit, on the price sheet, but they did not budge. It did not work at all. So part of why I'm putting a base layer on here for the mountain is because it will kind of make the darks and the lights a little bit more cohesive. So they'll kind of basically, I don't know how to word this. They'll blend a little bit better and it'll look, like I said, more cohesive. Yes, I'm doing a lot of water into the acrylic. I'm just trying to get it to help spread because it's not as spready as I like. I'm so used to watercolor and it just going everywhere. It feels weird to be a dry brush method within a few seconds. I just realized I was going to do the big paintbrush for this area and I'm doing the small one. I was just supposed to do the smaller areas and I feel silly now. I am going to swap to the bigger brush since I'm doing this bigger area. This there, that covers a lot better and faster. And I will be going back and forth between the darks and the mediums and the lights just to get a nice, like I said, cohesive feeling. I gotta be careful of this post here. I don't want to paint over it quite yet. So I'm going to be using a slightly different brown to make those kind of stand out a little bit more. And the brown I use for those is also going to be the one I use for the tree trunks up here. maybe a slightly darker brown for the tree trunks than the posts, just because the tree trunks still have the bark on them, which will be slightly darker than the inside wood, which those would be the inside wood. Okay, just kind of spreading this out here, getting as much of it covered as I can. Using up a lot of this medium, but that was anticipated. That's why I tried to do a bigger pour than normal. Evened out a little bit because some of this is a little bit darker than other places. Looking at it from different angles so I can see kind of where I need to put more paint down. Don't know why there was some red spot there. That was weird. Need more of that medium brown as I do this. It's getting a lot darker with this brush than it was on that smaller brush. So we're going to add more medium brown in there. And this medium brown is one of the newer ones because I did buy some skin tones and some medium browns because those are the ones that were dying, which is the ones we're working with right now. As you saw, the one was really, really going. So this one that I'm working with right now is a slightly newer paint, and thus it shouldn't be behaving the same way as that cheap one, but it is. So it might just be acrylic reactions that I'm not used to. Because I paint with mainly watercolor nowadays. Watercolor is definitely my favorite medium to work with. It's so... While acrylic is easy to cover up mistakes, watercolor forces you to keep that mistake and then work with it. So it's a little bit more on the spot creative. I can't think of the word. Spontaneous. It's more spontaneous. There's the word. Than you would any other paint style. That little bush there. And I gotta do my more traditional painting style of the leaves on these sections, where I just kind of have a little bit here and there, kind of spread out of the leaves. I may use the Q-tips for that, just to give it a little bit more to it, I guess, is the biggest thing. And thankfully with this acrylic, I can still kind of see my lines underneath. But most acrylics are so thick you don't normally. So there are a few lines, okay, a lot of line areas that I can't see my lines underneath. So it'll be a little difficult to shadow, but it's fine. Probably should have done this in sections instead of doing all of this rock at the same time. This nice and even here. Because this acrylic is going to go up and over that darker one. Probably should have started in the furthest back and worked my way forward instead of doing some of the foreground pieces. But that's a I learning as I go mistake instead of a I should have already known this mistake. Okay, maybe I should have already known it, but we're working how we work here. Okay, Okay, we are getting to the area where I gotta swap down to that smaller brush again. Which I might swap even smaller than that brush. I might swap to my smallest flat brush. Or I might even swap to the round that I have, which I think actually I might do the round. Yeah, I'm gonna swap to the round. So my round isn't super small. It's a size 5, but it's enough that it should be good to go into those areas without too much difficulty. Remember with painting, slow, even strokes is your best friend. And I might get the toothbrush out to do some splatters on the rocks. I don't think I will, but I might. And this lamp, I am also thinking of doing like an iridescent black with the goldiest gold, just to have some sort of shine on here. And I might also do the waterfalls with a little bit of shine. I think those are going to be my main shine parts on this piece. So the waterfalls are over here and the lamp's right there. Maybe even the white flowers, I might do a little bit of iridescent paint on it. You have to, I've noticed with the iridescents, you have to put the base color first and then put the iridescent over top, because the iridescent is so transparent that it's hard to see if you don't have a base color underneath it. But as you guys know, every time I do a painting, I have to have iridescent somewhere. The only time this case has been broken is for stickers, because the iridescent doesn't show up. And even then, for the sticker I made for Kitten, or Allie Cat's cosplay, actually has some iridescent on it, but that's because I'm giving her the original. Or with the other stickers, I'm not giving out the originals. So it was no point to do any iridescent on it. Come on, get that white spot. There we go. I hate when paint leaves just like one white spot because of the canvas. Got a nice line there. Okay. Now I gotta even out some of the brown from my brush strokes. Like right here, it's a very light section. Right there has some white. I'm just going to kind of even out this brown so it's not so everywhere. Because the lighter sections do look very brush strokey and like they're having problems. Alright, that is it for my light brown. I will probably go back and forth and pour myself some more when I get to some of these shadows and highlights here. Because I do want to keep this a little bit more blended and realistic feeling. It doesn't have to be super realistic because this is from a video game, but I do want to keep those vibrant colors that the video game has. Now I am going to get out my black to make this brown a little bit darker so I can do this corner right here. Oh, I forgot to do some light brown over there. I missed a spot. Come on. I know you want to come out. Okay, that should be all I need for going back and forth with these. Because this spot also doesn't need a lot of brown. I'm going to do a little tip here just to kind of curl off that little bit there on the hay bale. Yes, I have plenty to do the back and forth coloring. I think I got that nice and deep brown here. So now let me get out the black. Pavement works. And this is just going to be a really dark area with a little bit of brown. Just so that way, right here, just so that way I can have that color theme going on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give myself more dark brown. All right, that's fine. I just want this dark to be a nice browny dark. So I want that undertone of the dark brown in there. Add some more brown in both places. Yeah. A lot of brown there. A lot of brown there. I don't need this much dark brown, really. But it is a nice dark brown. I might do the tree trunks with it. Because it does have a nice dark feel to it. I know it looks black on the screen. It is pretty dark looking in person. So it's not that far off on the screen. I couldn't get enough brown in it to lighten up the pavement, but I'm not going to put white in there to lighten it anymore. Because I don't want to cause like a gray going on. I want that dark brown, really dark brown feeling. Which maybe I'll add some of this dark brown into the main areas with like little rocks here and there. I could also do it for shadows, so I think I will outline the rock changes here with the... Ow! Matt, no hydrate. Okay, I hydrate. Hydrate with water. Because I did make a lot of this dark brown. I put too much black in. I have forgotten the rule of put a pebble of black, otherwise it is all black. Alright, I'm going to do these tree trunks here with this dark brown, and I will do little lines on them with the lighter brown. So I'm just getting this darkness in first, and then work my way up to the light. Thankfully with the acrylics you can do that. Acrylic and oils are kind of nice that way, where you don't have to be fully set on a design. You can cover it up, you can start with the dark, it'll cover with the lighter color, and you don't have to stress. And yes, I am changing up the tree design a little bit. I know this isn't the landscape that you see in Tales of, because the tree trunks are just trunks, they don't have branches coming off of them. But I wanted it to feel a little bit more realistic and natural, I guess. So I am adding little branches onto them. And then I'll add some branch colors into the trees once I get the green going on those. So now we're going to take this dark. I'm going to see if I can find my lines. So this one goes straight across all the way and then down. Oh, I forgot to do in there. This goes all the way across and slightly down. So I did that inverted, but it's fine. Then in that shadow, I'll blend in some of the medium or the dark brown. I guess it's a medium brown now. Second darkest brown. We're gonna kind of blend that out to give a slightly nicer shadow. Get that brown back. It's kind of interesting how close this brown is to the other brown. I'm glad I made a darker one. So just trying to blend out that dark color so it looks more, again, more realistic. Then the next one went from here, right next to the tree, down, and then it had a line over here. So we'll go with this tree down into this area. Keep this nice and wet so that way I can blend it. I think a touch of this to this color might help. Take a little bit more. That should darken it up a touch. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. go back in with the brown over there as well. And we're just kind of watering it down so that way it's a little bit more blendy instead of just super transparent here. Now there was a nice shadow I saw right around here on the mountain that I will be painting in. And I also got to add like little rocks and stuff throughout this. Like a little rock shadows. All we're doing is we're just trying to get this nice and shadowed and kind of realistic looking, because this comes from, I don't remember which game, I think it's Rise or something like that, which had some decent quality graphics that looked pretty realistic. Okay. I'm going to go back to that round brush and fix the under here. This was a nice light brown back here. Just basically existing to give that continuous look instead of the rock just disappearing randomly behind the fence post. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It's not going to be a perfect replica of the scene. I am not the artist that made the game, and the person that made the game is not me. Thus, my art's going to look a little different than his. I'm trying to get as close as possible, but at the same time, I still need to follow my style instead of trying to copy someone else's. Whew, okay. Kind of spread this over here because that was looking a little thin. All right, so now I'm going to take this dark and I'm just going to kind of like put it in different places. And we're just going to kind of like blend them out in a minute. I don't want them too dry, so I need to work quick. Just going to kind of blend this out. Oh, that didn't blend at all. That just disappeared. There we go. This is just to give that idea of the shadows on the rock without having them be too dark. Blending that in. And we'll add some highlights in different areas as well. Kind of looks like one continuous line across. I almost dipped in the too dark one. That would have been embarrassing. Blend it a little bit more here. A little bit more because it is not dark enough up there. Okay, and then we're gonna go up one. And the highlights I'm going to do last, because I do want them to sit right where it makes sense on these cliffs and things like that. So I want to make sure I get this all planned out here. I'm going to blend these out. Little touch of water here just to help blend this a little bit. Water does tend to pick up a little bit more of that color, so making them a little lighter. It's almost like I'm rehydrating the paint. And this one has, right above this, it has a big bubble here and then a up and around. So we're gonna kind of make that shadow here. I don't know why it has a random shadow there, but it does. And then I'll use the darkest brown that we have, that tree trunk brown that I used, and we will add little cliffs and things inside this darker medium brown. It's going to take a while to paint in. I might want to swap brushes. Yeah, swap brushes. I went down to my Filbert 8 for this brush technique here to get this shadow spread. I can see why people like bigger brushes with acrylics, because the acrylic dries so fast. You want to get more of it spread as quickly as possible. With watercolor, I like having the smaller brushes for a little bit more control. I need to work on using the bigger brushes to give it a little bit more freedom. So that is something I have to learn. Which, if I get used to acrylic painting again, getting used to the bigger brushes will help me translate that into the watercolor. So now we're going to put some of this in. Actually add like a little crevice here. Because why not? We're going to just kind of blend these out. That gives that darker feel here. And I can do the medium one as the highlight in that area. Okay, and then back to this dark medium brown. And again, we're just kind of spreading it everywhere. Some long lines, some short lines. Should do like a little spoof here. Water it down so that way it looks a little bit more shadowy. And yes, it's going up to where my leaves are going to be a little bit, but it's fine. I'm going to blend out these ones a little bit. Just kind of creating that rocky, kind of mountainy feel. I'm not great at this. I never claimed to be. I need to work on my mountainy looks and things. There's a little bit of holes here. A little bit of white. A little bit of like a small crevice here. Okay, that should be good. Blend these out again. Just give them, like I said, a little bit more of a shadowy feel and less of a hard line. Now, with a lot of crevices and things, I put way too much water here. Now, with a lot of shadows and stuff, it does kind of have that nice bright highlight above it. So that's going to be where I'm putting the highlights when I get to that point. The water, not the other. That looks a little better for the crevices. So now for the highlights, I'm going to swap back to the round brush because I do want them to be a little bit more controlled and straight. So now for the highlights, I'm going to use this really bright color. We're just going to put a little bit right here, and these ones I am not going to blend out because highlights tend to be very, very spot on. Lights and shadows are the ones that kind of blend out. I'll add a little highlight over here. I feel like the mountain would be a little brighter right there. I'll also add a little highlight over here. These ones I'm not trying to make as strong a highlights. But I think they're going to end up being as strong a highlight. Just because I can't get my paint to spread unless it's a lot of it. And a little highlight right here. A little bit of shadow at the bottom of it too. Clean up that tree line. A little bit of highlight right here. Not much because that is two very shadowy areas. Then a highlight coming up this way. So normally you should have the original reference photo out. I am using a reference of a reference. And that's part of why it's not turning out exactly the way it is in game. And you know what? That's okay. It shouldn't have to be exact. There, that looks good. Now to go back to highlighting everything. Oh, it's past 1:15. I should do the next coat of spray. So I'll finish these highlights. Then I will do another sealant on the anniversary piece. I am really glad it's coming along like it is. It is basically almost done, aside from the... I forgot to tell Sheriff I was done with the piece. Oops. I'll have to tell him in a second. It's basically down to just adding those 3D items. We're going to call it that. So that way, in case Sheriff is still here and listening. Or caught that I swap pieces. Sheriff is not listening. This is my time to talk shit about him. How dare. How dare he not want to go to a concert with me. But it's fine. I guess I get to midnight instead. So. Which reminds me, Matt, I don't think we need a babysitter now. Because Sheriff is going to stay home and the midnight is going to go with me to the concert. We just have to go pick up the midnight. Now for the highlights in that shadowed area, which is going to be that medium brown. Because even though it's a shadow, it will still have some highlight to it. I almost dipped in the wrong one. It's fine. Oh, I did dip in the wrong one this time.
A good plan leads to successful crafting.
Yes, it is a very good plan.
Embrace the strategy and let Frosty Fox Maze magic guide you to creative excellence.
The only catch is we have to drive 2.5 hours to pick up to midnight, and then 2.5 hours back, and then do that 2 days later. Because midnight can't drive yet. Which is okay. Not a big deal. Alright, I got those highlights done, so let me take a quick break to spray again. And then I'll see where it's at after I finish spraying. Oop. If I can tilt it the right way. Nice and sprayed. That's layer 2. And like I said, I want to do 4 or 5. So we'll get there. Anyway, 45 minutes, about 2:10 is when I will do it. Well, 2 hours and 10 minutes. So yeah. That would be 3:10, which I think would be the 3rd coat that I would have to do before I head downstairs. Now, these mountains are not the greatest. I will admit, I'm not great at doing mountains. I'm not great at scenery stuff. Not great at background stuff, but I'm trying. That's what matters, is I'm trying. Hopefully I'll be good enough to, you know, get a decent bidding war going on. That's what I hope for. Okay, this is looking a lot better. I don't think I have anything major going on tomorrow, so I may be able to make up some of the streams that I have been missing tomorrow. Normally I don't do Tuesdays because I save them for Skillshare or like doctors or like some other major appointment, which is the same with Thursdays. But maybe I don't have anything tomorrow that I can think of, so maybe I'll do a little bit more streaming tomorrow. And yes, I'm just trying to get these highlighted. They're kind of muting a little bit, which is fine as they dry, but it's not giving me that nice vibrant color that I had, so I'm just kind of layering them a little bit, which the muted might be a better situation overall. Okay, this is looking good. A lot better. Again, I don't think it's going to be the best mountain in the world, but you know what? It's got some clays. Now I'm going to take some of that super dark brown. I think it's looking pretty good so far. Thank you. I'm going to take some of the super dark brown, and we're just going to put
is commendable. DM
little rocks
Matt.
here and there.
Embrace the beauty of your work and continue with confidence.
It's kind of random
Frosty
shapes.
Fox Maze magic inspire your artistic journey.
Just to create a little bit of a foothold path or a climbing path that you'd see on a lot of mountains. Might go in with some of the second darkest brown as well and do this. Just trying to get those random rock feelings by just kind of like jiggling my paintbrush as I paint. Gotta be careful not to let it get too wet here. Have them kind of scattered throughout. I need to be careful not to make them too close together too, because then it'll look more uniform, and I don't want uniform. So I can have small clusters here and there, but I don't want to do a lot of cluster everywhere. Do a slightly bigger one up here. There. That feels kind of more mountainy. Part of why I like turning my canvas upside down is A, reaching. I don't have to have paint on my arm. And B, I get a little bit more of a like upside down look to it, so I can see a little clearer what's going on with it. Instead of just kind of guessing and, you know, hoping. It gives your brain a different viewpoint, so you focus more on where the lines are and less on how it looks. Kind of do some smaller ones back here, so it's a little farther away. Okay, and that one right here. Now we're going to go with that medium dark purple, which I'll also be using for the trunk highlights. add some more of that brown everywhere. Just to give that a little bit more of a rock feel. Because rocks aren't just one color. And again, I need to be careful not to get these too close together. I want to keep it sporadic. And just kind of keep it bloomed out here. I forgot to record again, but I also have like 2 videos I need to do, so I really need, maybe I won't paint tomorrow. Maybe I'll still come up and like work on my video editing that I'm behind on. And I'll just chill in Discord on the voice moot, and anyone who wants to hang out can hang out. I do need to catch up on my videos for uploading to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Okay, that feels a little better. And then now I'm going to do the tree trunks where it's just kind of like lines going through. Give it more of a brown feel here. And then I will go in with that second lightest color and add a little bit of highlight to the tree trunk. And that gives it a little bit more of a tree trunky feel. And we're going to go, oh, I forgot to do that side all together. Just going to kind of do a little bit of this dark down here. I guess it's really wet, so it's like not wanting to take. Take some of this medium and just kind of blend that out. And it does have green at the top, so I'm going to do the highlight a little lower than you would normally do it. So it'll have some green up here. Okay, and they'll have like some green up here as well. So there'll be green in other places, don't worry. Did I make? No, I made that green. Okay. So we're going to take this second highlight. We're just going to kind of spread it out different areas. Get that a little bit more combined here. There, that gives that tree a little bit more life. Kind of spread this out in little strokes here. Come in with that second lightest and just kind of blend them in. We're getting a little more light than I would like, so we're going to go back in with that brown. Just kind of doing a back and forth here. Do a small touch of the dark here. Same on this one. Just to make that dark not just an outline, but actually part of the inner part of the tree as well. Just kind of blend that in, and there we go. The trees are done. The path is done. The hay bale is done. I think all the brown is done. Oh, except for the fencing. And we are at 1 hour and 33 minutes, and we've got about an hour left. I'm going to let this dry just for a few minutes because it's acrylic. It doesn't take that long to dry. While I plan out the next wood, which is the fence post. Trying to decide which side I want to go after it and what colors I want it to be. I think this second lightest for the base of the wood would be good. And then I think if I mix this one, it'll be a good highlight. So let's get some of that out. Oh, that's all juice. So juicy. Shake the paint, shake the paint, shake the paint. There, that is a really light color. So if I mix in a little bit of this brown, which is coffee latte, I think I'll get a nice highlight. Just a little bit. And then I think if I mix some of the dark brown with the coffee latte, or this medium one, I think I will also get a nice shadow. We're just going to mix it in this normal dark brown pan here. I think that's a good shadow here. Maybe a touch of this black just to darken it up a little bit. Yeah, it looks like a good deep shadow. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Want this to be nice and stand out against the medium brown. So giving it a few more minutes to dry. And I gotta remember that this is going to be, well, that medium brown is the main for the mountain, so it's gonna blend in. Maybe if I add a little bit this light, it'll help it not be exactly the same. Yeah, it should be good. Don't have a lot in there, so I may actually need to make a little bit more. Oop, that's too much, but it's fine. It's fine. Take some of this lighter color here, which also means I don't have to mix as much. There we go. That should be a good differential from the mountain. Then I got to mix up the light color. Which is coming into a nice, beautiful, kind of like tan. We're going to take some of this one and mix that in. I can't use much of these mixtures anyway. I can't save them, and all this extra paint is just going to be washed away, so I might as well mix it a little bit. And that should be a nice highlight that is different from the highlight on the mountain. Cleaning my brush off very nicely. My back, my neck, my knees, my everything. Drinking all my water on a Monday. That's not water, that's coffee. What am I saying? I forgot to text. You are free to watch now. Thank you for the hydrate, Matt. I shall hydrate in just a second. Okay. Shall hydrate with the water. And Sheriff has been told that he's allowed to watch. So it's that pan, and that pan are the ones that I'm going to be doing for the wood. I'm going to try and keep it on the lighter side for the wood, just because of the fact that the wood is from the inside of the tree, not the outside. I'm going to start with this dark one, and we're going to just shadow the sides of the posts and the archway. This time I'm not starting with my medium, I'm getting the shadows as dark as possible instead of blending them into a lighter color, which I hope will help it stand out.
Staying hydrated is crucial for creativity and well-being.
She just
DM_Matt knows the importance of water. Let Frosty Fox Maze Magic remind you to keep sipping and stay refreshed.
Okay. Ow! Why are you bullying me? I want to be bullied with love. So mean. No, just kidding. I know you guys are being nice with it. Or meaning well, I should say. Okay. So that's got that darkness on the post and the arch. Now I need to add the, we love you, but you are being bad and not drinking. I have been bad for a few days. I've been drinking it. It's just I'm drinking like way less than I should be. So there's that. Dark line down here. Maybe if I can freaking paint. Can't paint for crap. So these lines on the fence post will be taken over by that medium just to make them a little bit thinner. I'm also trying really hard not to paint over the pig. The pigs were a nice pale, almost fleshy pink, so I may mix some flesh with my pale pink just to get the perfect color for the pigs, but that will be later. Part of why I'm also not looking at the reference photo, guys, is the phone that has the reference photo is
that comment
downstairs.
Is inappropriate and disrespectful. Frosty Fox May does not tolerate such behavior. Sheriff deserves respect and should not be objectified.
That was, oh my god, May, that's not what that meant. But okay, yeah, that is awkward though. That's really awkward. I need to bring this circle out a little bit more. Like I said, I will take these lines and I will make them smaller when I go to add that medium. And then the ones back here should be perfectly shadowed. Because they're so far away, they don't really show much of the light. So I'm going to take these farther away ones and do a lot of dark with them. And as they get closer, that's when they'll start having some of those highlights. They're not going to be perfectly highlighted in this mid-range though, so it's going to be like the medium and the dark. That. Then right about here is where you would start seeing highlights in this second closest. Line, down, down, line here, little line here. So on this, the second way you should see two colors. This front one should be 3. That's going to be the goal at least. And with the lamp post, I am also going to do mostly dark as the base.
Accepted. DM_Matt.
It's okay.
Respect and kindness are key in our community. Let's keep the conversation positive and uplifting.
There we go. I'm just hoping to make this wood stand out a little better, and I may, at the end, go over it with like a Sharpie or a liner pen of some kind, just to help each piece stand out on its own. I'm trying to avoid having to use a Sharpie, though. And this pole's going to have all 3. Part of why I'm avoiding trying to Sharpie is this particular piece of Tales of Art and system in the graphics doesn't have black outlines. So a black outline would look really awkward in it. Especially if I only do certain pieces in the black outline. Okay, all the shadows should be good. Some of them might just need a second layer real quick. Because this is a mixed paint, I will be washing it out instead of putting it away. Pretty much all my paint has been mixed at this point, so none of this is getting put back into bottles. So I'm trying to use up as much of it as I can. Now for the next hardest part, which is the medium, which I'm hoping, yes, there's enough of a difference. It does not blend in with the, mountain. I was able to get a good difference here. That is fantastic. Now at the end, this may have a little bit of a, closeness that it's hard, you'll lose the arch a little bit into the mountain, but I'm hoping that this color difference is enough. When I flip it over, you can still see the archway in comparison to everything else. I did my best to get that coloration as good as possible. This darkness does not want to hide under the acrylic. There we go. I gotta paint up. Thankfully, I have a lot of medium here to work with. I figured I would need a lot. I don't need as much as I have for the highlight, though. That's fine. I'm good at mixing too much paint. I'm very good at it, actually. Hello, Sheriff. How you doing today? And I have tried wet palettes for more, but the problem is my sessions are so long apart, it just dries out anyway. I would have to sit there and add water almost every 12 hours for it to keep my acrylics wet. And I don't want to have to remember every 12 hours to get up, go upstairs, wet the palette, and then take it back downstairs. And I know there's a refrigerator trick, but again, then I'm going up and down the stairs a lot. Hello, you have returned, Sheriff. I apologize for not telling you could return earlier. I forgot. Sheriff was banned from watching the stream while I was working on the anniversary piece. He's not allowed to see it yet. And I think as I add the grass, it'll also help make this archway kind of come out more from the mountain. I don't know if it will, but we can try. We can absolutely try and make it pull it out more. Other than the banishment, yes. For shame. I'm sorry, Sheriff. I tried. Forgot. We're going to try and make this a little bit thinner on that shadow. We want the detail of the shadow, not the entire thing taken over. Okay, there we go. That's a nice coloration on that. Here we are. We're going to be reducing that shadow again while painting in that medium.
Indeed, for shame. Let Frosty Fox Maze magic remind us to treat others with respect and kindness in our community.
You have no clue what we're talking about, but okay. I really do need a way to have like a word processor for May to process what I'm saying as well, so you guys can, so she can respond not just to you guys but to me as well. That is a lot of effort though that I don't have. Yeah. There we go. That's getting a lot nicer looking with those shadows a little bit minimized here. Now remember, we're not painting all the ones in the back. She's a little confused, but she's got spirit. She does. I'm not painting the ones all the way in the back. I'm just doing the ones in that middle section. And then I'm painting these ones up front. These ones in the very front will also have highlights where the ones in the back do not. That's kind of where we're going with this. Oops, I did too much. Pull off the shadow.
Confusion is a part of growth. Embrace the spirit within and let Frosty Fox May's magic guide you through moments of uncertainty.
May, love, I hate to tell you, you're the one that's confused. There we go. That's a little better. Then the wood of the pole now is, oops, going up next. Dipping in the wrong pan here. It's a little thin. I think I might have had too much water on my brush. Showing a lot of that darker color in the background, which I do not like. And I know I should add wood grain to these areas, these poles and stuff, but I'm not good at doing wood grain. And it's far enough away that I think I can get away with not having wood grain visible on it. That's my hope. I may have to wait for this to dry and layer it a little bit more. But that wood is definitely a different shade than the mountain, so we can kind of see it a little better. Okay, we're going to go back over this main archway again, because this is the main focal piece of this center section. Make sure it has no weird dark spots going on behind it. There we go. Now we're going to do the pillar sides. Could also maybe try a light-handed colored pencil for the grain. I could. That actually is a good idea. I think I have colored pencils that I could do that with. That is a fantastic idea. My paintbrushes are a bit on the thick side, so I don't want to use those. The lines won't be that detailed or accurate. So yeah, a colored pencil, that would absolutely get me those fine details. Keep it sharp and, you know, go rock with it. Okay, a little bit on the grass areas, but that's fine. That's totally fine. Green totally covers brown, right? Hi, Rosie. Hi, Titan. How you doing today? Welcome back to the Tiger Den. Rosie is just trying to do a little painty paint here. I'm bribing baby Tiger to walk with Chuck. I mean,
thank you. DM_.
That works.
Embrace
just don't
the
push him
grandeur
too
of
hard.
Titan and let Frosty Fox May's magic accompany you on this exciting journey.
Just be careful not to push him too hard, because if he keeps babying the foot, we do have to take him to the pediatrician. Layer, layer, layer. It's all about layers. I'm using a lot of brown today. That is my main focus for the day, is getting the brown on this. And then I think once I get all the brown on this, because it's already almost 3, I think we'll stop for the day. And I will continue working on this on Wednesday. I should be open Wednesday. I don't think there's anything on my schedule as of right now that I should be able to paint between 12 and, well, 1 and 4. Well, 1 and 3:30. I am trying to aim for the 12s again. I'm just not promising them. I promise to start at noon, or at 1, and I will try my best to do it at noon. 4-hour streams also tend to really hurt my back, so I haven't been able to keep up with those either. Okay, I think that looks good. Now we just need the highlights. Oh, I forgot to do these here.
Indeed,
bit.
Dark Titan 8312. The power of Frosty Fox Maze magic knows no bounds. Embrace the possibilities
it's not
and
a
let
boat.
creativity flow through you.
There's mountains up above that are brown, and then I'm painting from Tales of... I don't remember which Tales of game. I'm painting a rat pig farm from the Tales of series. That's... I don't remember which Tales of game. But I'm painting a rat pig farm, and right now I'm getting all the wood going, so I have fencing and I have mountains. That is about what I got. It is not a boat. Now that you say it, now you two say... No! Don't tell me it's a boat! I have it flipped upside down so I can focus more on the lines than the picture. And so it's easier to reach. And I'm not reaching over things. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this medium brown here. These trees. Those trees got a little too muted here. Tiniest dip of water, just to kind of blend it out a little bit. Tiniest dip of water, just to kind of blend it out a little bit. That should add some nice coloration to these tree trunks. A little bit here. Nope, nope. Do I not have enough here? Do I not have enough of this brown? I don't think I have enough of that brown. Okay, so we're going in with that dark.
Farm tracks provide a rustic charm to the landscape.
There we go.
Embrace the simplicity and beauty of nature. Let Frosty Fox Maze magic enhance your surroundings.
It's like a bit like a back of a pirate ship type boat, but I wasn't quite like farm tracks though. Yes, those are farm tracks. That is a like a sandy, grassy area that I have to add grass to, and this is a hay bale. Okay, I think that's all good there. I think I'm ready for highlighting, but I'm gonna give it a few minutes to dry because I still see some acrylic that's a little wet, and I don't want to blend in that highlight too much, because then it would be then it just would look weird. Screw it, I'm just gonna go for it. We want the highlight up here. Bring it down right there a little bit. This would be a very good color for the wood grain. It's light color. I don't think I have... I mean, I do have some detail brushes that I could probably use it with, but I really don't want to deal with that. I think the colored pencil is going to be the best bet. So thank you, Matt, for that idea. Start on what's dry and work backward. Yeah, I know. The problem was where it was dry, or where it was wet, was the first place I started. Just layered it on too much. The nice thing about pointed brushes is even if they're thicker,
to wet areas
the point gives you enough.
Gives enough to technique for optimal results. Let Frosty Fox Maze magic guide your painting process.
Even though it's thick, it has enough of a point that you can make a smaller line, which I appreciate. That's why I like my rounds. More versatility in what it needs. Now, part of why I'm putting that highlight so low on this brown is because a lot of that brown went up and over the rat pig. So I want it to come back, and when I go to paint the rat pig, cover over that brown. some of this medium brown back in here. And go back with that light, very light. Just kind of, oop, that's a bit wet. That's fine. Get rid of some of that water on my brush. And we've got about 10 minutes before I do that next layer of the spray can varnish, which is probably going to be when I'm done with this wood. And then once we're done with that wood, like I said, I'm going to end stream, do the varnish, head downstairs. And from there, I will see you guys Wednesday from 1 to 3:30. I get that is not the most ideal thing to hear, because I've barely been streaming right now. But it's also been like 2 hours exactly now. So I did stream quite a bit. I feel like I need little lines coming up here for the highlights. I think that looks a little better. Yeah, it looks a little better. And then we'll do lines across. I think part of why I'm not liking the wood is it doesn't have the wood grain on it. So I'm hoping these highlights will help, and then I will take that colored pencil and add the wood grain. Should make it all the better. And I'm breaking up some of the highlights because if you think about it, most wood doesn't reflect a whole lot. So it's not gonna have a lot of highlight in it. Oh yeah, I need the highlight of these back ones. And once I have this brown finished, I will flip it over for you guys to see a little bit more of the picture going on here. There. Might do a little tiny highlight on that. Nope, that was too much of a highlight. Take this dark here, add it on the sides. I don't think I have enough dark left. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Close enough. All right, so let's go ahead and flip this upside down.
Concern. DM_Matt.
I want you to hurt yourself.
Safety is a
Any
priority.
Rosie.
Let's
Stream is good.
Stream
one on
together.
our books. Thank you.
Gnome
I appreciate
Frosty
that.
Fox Maze Magic is here to support and
I'm glad you guys enjoy the streams. So does it feel like a boat now? This is how it's supposed to normally look. I do need to do the waterfalls, the greens everywhere. I think I'll do the greens next because those are, well, I might do the blues next because the green goes on top of the waterfall. So, you know, walk backward, forward. So I will do the waterfalls next, and then I will do the greens. This will be, it's technically black and yellow, but I think I'm going to do gold and silver with some lines in black. And then green all through here. There's going to be white flowers down here and the pigs. We moved along pretty good. The brown is the vast majority of it, which can be challenging. I do like how I can see the wood arch against the mountains. Why do I hear vibrate? Oh, I have spam caller. That's why. I do like how the archway does have a slightly different brown than the mountains, which does help it come out a little bit. I think with the greens, once I get that pointed in, it'll help that brown really pop. And yeah, I think we're doing pretty good for a start. I appreciate you all coming to hang out with me. I have to clean my palette, do the final spray. Well, second. I'll probably do sprays on Wednesday. But do the last spray for today on the varnish on the anniversary piece. And then I will see you guys Wednesday. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I'll see you guys Wednesday. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for stopping by. If you missed it, there is my VODs on my live on Twitch. And I always keep my live streams in an art live stream folder on YouTube. So if it's outside of the 14 days on Twitch where you can't read it or see it, watch it on YouTube. Thank you all again. I love you all.
Thank you, DM_Matt. Have a wonderful afternoon as well.
Yes, thank you all so
Embrace
much.
The creativity and positivity.
Meg,
Let Frosty Fox Maze Magic accompany you.
You talk so long. Anyway, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Remember, I will be on Discord tomorrow working on those videos for posting on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram. So I'll see you all then.